Hello, my name is James Hunter, and this is my 2 cents channel where I talk about topics from physical fitness, mental health, wellness, and topics that I may just want to discuss. And as the title of my video suggests, fat burning pills in regards to the morbidly obese and overweight. That's what I'm going to be speaking about today. And I'm going to share my thoughts, my opinions about these products that you can buy at supplement stores. And I'm going to share my personal experience with an individual I'm working with right now who is morbidly obese. It's been training with me for 3 months, who's making good progress in terms of an experience that this individual went through with her previous trainer. I'm going to talk about that in regards to these supplements that are out there, or so-called supplements, fat burning pills. I'm going to talk about 2 situations of 2 different types of individuals. I have my outline up here. I'm going to talk about people that are a relatively lean person, or a relatively lean person, such as somebody like myself, versus the morbidly obese or overweight person. So I'm going to speak to those issues, and we're going to talk about relationship with food, how disingenuous it can be if you have a client that hasn't really learned anything about nutrition, or there has been no effort rather on the part of a personal trainer to impart knowledge, to give information, to even have a nutrition plan, or to start trying to work on changing behavior rather, in terms of where the empowerment is for an individual in terms of changing their life, such as losing weight, getting fit and healthy. So let's talk about a few things in the video first in regards to the fat burner pill with these 2 types of people. So let's talk about a relatively lean person like myself. I'm going to compete in a bodybuilding contest in July, later this summer. I got plenty of time as far as my diet and what I'm doing. I'm fairly lean. I already have an established relationship with food. I understand what food does for me. I know how to manipulate it in terms of the macronutrients, my estimated energy requirements, I have up here, metabolism. I understand those concepts, and I understand that primarily that's the key to either gaining weight, losing weight, burning body fat over time as a process. I have that in place. So I don't use fat burners, by the way, but if I were to, if there was someone such as the relatively lean person that I gave the example of, if they then were to use a particular product, supplement, if you will, as just a tool, if you will, like it has a stimulant in it, perhaps that might help with their appetite. An appetite suppressant, maybe the proprietary blend may have some ingredients in there that the individual may feel, hey, I'm deriving some type of a benefit. And they want to do that. There's something to be said about that for people who already have an established disciplined control over food. And they're already lean to begin with. And then perhaps that's going to have some type of a benefit. To what extent may be debatable. But there's that situation. So let's talk about the morbidly obese or overweight person. Let's use an example, and this is pretty much a lot of individuals. They're significantly obese, overweight, very sedentary. They haven't exercised. They have no clue or understanding as to what metabolism is, as far as what the metabolism means in terms of the body's breaking down of energy substrates, calories, estimated energy requirements, how that works in terms of supporting a goal, whether it's having a calorie deficit or a negative energy balance. If you're trying to lose weight, or if you have a positive balance, how that can cause you to continue to gain weight. These individuals may not understand that calorie density has nothing to do with food volume. You can have a lot more calories in something the size of a cupcake versus something with more volume like a bowl of chicken soup. So these concepts that people who have experience that understand, a person who's just beginning, maybe they just hired a personal trainer, the doctor says you need to start losing weight, exercising, you have pre-diabetes, and they're trying to get that situation under control. So this person right here is morbidly obese. They have, there's a lot at stake here. So with this type of population, if a personal trainer were to tell this person, they're just getting them started, and they were to tell them, hey, go down to the local supplement store, to Joe Smo Supplements, whatever, and I want you to buy some fat burning pills. Now, I'm going to give a real life story. I'm not going to say the person's name. I'm helping an individual that started off with me 3 months ago. This person is 5'1", about 270 pounds when they started. They're not that heavy no more. They've been losing an appropriate amount of weight. They've lost probably close to 25 pounds so far. Significant inches. Clothes size are going down. They're going to buy new clothes. Rings and jewelry is fitting that they never could wear for years. Strength and conditioning is improving. Mobility, flexibility, other indicators of fitness. In addition to just losing fat and girth over time in just 3 months already. So this individual that I'm helping has recounted or told me their first experience with a personal trainer. And I'm the second personal trainer that this individual is working with. They had one before me. And the first personal trainer was being sponsored by a supplement store for bodybuilding contests to pay for his entry fees into bodybuilding competitions. So because he was sponsored with a local supplement store, in return, there's a conflict of interest there. He's going to tell people to go buy supplements there. So right off the bat, you have a conflict of interest if he's telling his clients, go over there and buy fat burner pills, right? Because they're paying him money or he's benefiting from that situation. So that right there is a conflict of interest. I just find that kind of a bit, in my opinion, it's not very ethical. Number two, as far as that being the best product, fat burner pill, for a morbidly obese person who is yet to be taught anything about nutrition, who's yet to understand that it's going to be the relationship of food, number one, and understanding the energy requirements in terms of how the metabolism works with the calories and so on. That's going to be the key to losing weight, a calorie deficit, bringing the calories down, having the appropriate nutrition within the calories, whatever that plan's going to be, whether it's 1,600 calories a day or so on. So understanding how that's going to work, number one, teaching that to the client and imparting to them the responsibility for changing behavior, making lifestyle changes, supporting that and encouraging that and helping the client to achieve that. It's a change in lifestyle. It's a change in a relationship with food and providing the support for that to help that client to be successful over time. What that's going to teach is what I have written down here. It's basically we're teaching the locus of control for change, for your behavior, for your life. Locus of control, you have internal versus external. It's basically a fancy way of saying where's the control at, right? So if I tell somebody who's morbidly obese, who doesn't know anything about working out, who doesn't have a clue about nutrition or eating yet, they're kind of that they don't have that information, and as a result, they're obese, overweight. They're not able to manage that. So if I have someone right there in this stage of change and they don't have the information, if I tell that person, you know what, the first thing you need to do is go to this supplement store and you need to spend $100 on fat burner pills, because that's about what they cost for certain brands, and that's what you need to do, number one. Right off the bat, what you're already teaching that person is that the locus of control is external, right? You're teaching them that the control is outside of the person. It's outside of them, and it's not coming from within. So you're teaching them, one, the control is outside of you. You have to take the magic pill, something external, right? And that does not send a good message in terms of promoting change and change of behavior. So right off the bat, telling a morbidly obese person to go buy fat burner pills, you've already failed in several regards. One, I just think it's disingenuous. I think it's pretty chicken shit. It tells me you don't care about that person. Number two, you're teaching them that it's the magic pill concept, that the basis for change is going to come outside of them. There's other things that can be said. So that's where that fails right there. So what I want to promote an internal locus of control. So the control, it's not outside, it's inside the person. Simply put, little, simple diagram there, you get it. So the control is you. You're going to be the one in terms of your behavior, the decisions you make, and how you, as far as also learning, becoming educated about food, nutrition, and then accordingly making changes within your lifestyle to accommodate and support that goal. That's what's going to succeed. Even if there was a magic pill that you could just give a 300-pound person that actually worked and they all of a sudden would start losing weight, then they're going to have to take that pill for the rest of their life. And we know very well, those of you who've worked with individuals, you may have seen some. There used to be the hydroxycut and other type of products. They might take it for a little while, but they don't take it indefinitely. And even then, at best, you're dealing with an appetite suppressant where they're just eating less. So hello, less calories, calorie deficit, you're going to lose some weight. But what's not happening is the person's not learning how to eat according to their needs. They're not learning anything about energy requirements, metabolism, how to organize their macronutrients, food selection, foods low in calorie, dense in nutrients, and so on. You're not educating, you're not teaching any kind of behavior change. So if the person stops whatever fad pill that's out there, which, the majority of them, if not all of them, don't really do anything, they're not going to do anything for obese people. What's going to replace that? So what's going to replace being a person who's overweight is a change in lifestyle, learning how to eat according to your needs, learning about nutrition, and so on, as a process over time. That's the way it works. It's not, sudden changes in 1 week to a month, you've lost 50, 60 pounds. It doesn't work that way. So there's other measurements other than the scale. You look at body fat percent, girth measurements, how your clothes fit, fitness measurements, your strength and conditioning, your energy level, blood work with the doctor when you go get a physical, right? Your lipid panel's improving. You're no longer at risk for diabetes, pre-diabetes, and so on. So these situations right here, really, if you're someone watching this video right now and you click this video because you want to know, should I go spend my money buying fat burner pills because I saw Joe Smo or Mr. Fitness Celebrity with his rock hard abs and he's got this product. Let me ask you this: if you're 285, 300 pounds, you haven't really done any type of a training before, you have no experience, you really don't understand a lot about nutrition, and it does not make you a bad person. You just need to learn about these concepts. So if that's you don't really have a foundation yet in terms of understanding your nutrition, you haven't started exercising yet, and you're wanting to learn about exercise and nutrition, start with that, number one. The first thing that you should not be doing is I need to go get a fat burner pill. Number one, you're wasting your money. Number two, you're already off on the wrong foot because you're thinking of change in terms of changing in terms of how you're going to get to your outcome. You're thinking about it as something outside of you. And there's nothing outside of you that's going to get you to lose weight, to be the best version of yourself, or accomplish any other number of goals. What's going to get you the outcome you want, it's going to have to come from within you. It's going to be change in behavior and lifestyle and so on. So what are your thoughts on this? Maybe you've been suckered into buying some fat burner pills and you're somebody who's very overweight and it didn't do shit for you, and then you feel let down or misled. Maybe that's you. If that is you, drop a comment below and tell me about that. So lifestyle change, relationship with food is really the crux of the issue. That's the heart of the issue, if you will, if you're somebody who's obese and needs to lose weight or overweight, versus the magic pill and the fat burner pill. So really, I'm helping a person right now. This person has been with me 3 months. They've lost close to about 25 pounds so far. Lost a lot of inches already on the stomach, the hips. The clothes is a big indicator as well. This individual is no longer wearing the clothes that she had several months ago. They're too big for her now. The clothes that she had from years ago she could never fit into, well, she's wearing those clothes now. This person could not fit into jewelry anymore, different types of rings. She can put her rings on her favorite rings and jewelry fits her again. Other indicators of her fitness improvement and her health. No more edema or water retention in the ankles. Just so many other indicators we call them non-scale victories. It's just her health in general is improving. Strength and conditioning is improving. Energy, the ability to perform activities of daily living and so on. Quality of life. All these things which are a result of nutrition, understanding how to eat, having a good, healthy relationship with food, in addition to the exercise program and so on. This is where it's at when you're trying to help anybody, people who are obese, overweight, or anybody in general. if your first thing or to do or your first intervention as a personal trainer is you're already, plugging or promoting supplements to a client who you haven't even taught them one thing about nutrition yet, or even worked on that aspect first, to me, in my opinion, that doesn't say you truly care about that person. Supplements have their place. Protein shakes, I take the protein shakes. Some of my clients use protein shakes, kind of like a meal replacement type of thing. Sometimes if they're not able to eat an actual meal, then sometimes, a shake is better than nothing, and it does provide some nutrients. Nothing wrong with that. Vitamins and minerals, nothing wrong with that, and so on. So there are some supplements that can be of benefit, and I support that. And my video is not to say that all supplements are bad, or that recommending or being a believer in certain supplements means that you're going to be insincere across the board if you try to sometimes discuss those things with your clients, meaning that you're not really focusing on the change in lifestyle and everything else. So it's things like fat burner pills that I'm really talking about, and some other things that really, there's even I'm not going to say the product's name, but it's a cream, you rub it on your stomach, and it's supposed to burn the fat. Now, for people who, again, if you're already relatively a lean person, such as myself, yeah, there's something to be said about that, and whatever marginal difference it may make because of certain studies and whatever. And then again, to what extent of a benefit it even provides is debatable. There's something that may be said about that. But I've seen people that are down here in this category, morbidly obese or overweight person, go into a supplement store, and an employee who works there, who's a salesperson, first and foremost, remember, they're salespeople. They're there to make money. They're not registered dietitians or nutrition experts. They're a lot of times they're cashiers who work for a supplement store, and they're salespeople. Number one, they get some product information from guess where? From the supplement industry, who have an agenda to sell the supplement. So there's some studies out there and so on, but even then, studies have to be looked at and examined in terms of the validity, reliability, and also the sample of who the studies were even done on. So these supplement stores, I've seen individuals who work there who will sell products like the cream that's supposed to burn belly fat to someone who's like, morbidly obese, probably close to 40% body fat, right? So that's ridiculous, and it's sad to say that there's people who actually believe that's going to do something for them. It's one thing, like I said, if you're already single-digit body fat and you want to kind of do some of these things that might give you a little bit extra, but if you're obese or overweight, don't waste your money on that type of stuff. Learn how to have a relationship with food, learn about estimated energy requirements, metabolism, and have a program designed that's going to support and optimize your weight loss, okay? Get more bang for your buck during that hour you're working out with a personal trainer, or you're doing it by yourself. Another thing I wrote up here is a physical exam. So I think responsible personal trainers, if they work with someone who's maybe over the age of 50, who's been sedentary for a very long time, who's morbidly obese, in a lot of these situations, I'll ask, when's the last time you had a physical exam with a doctor just to get checked up? A lot of times you'll find it's been years. It's been years. They haven't even had an exam, no blood work, no nothing. So what I recommend and encourage individuals that are morbidly obese or overweight who are beginning an exercise program, and I'm going to help them with changing their relationship with food, making the lifestyle changes. I encourage them to get a physical to at least find out what their lab works look like, and let their doctor kind of get a baseline where they're at, maybe a hormone panel. They might want to get their thyroid checked, these types of things. So I want to benefit my client as much as possible by giving them options or suggestions of things that are actually going to help them and work, and that are going to be practical. So encouraging them to get a physical exam by their physician. The one individual I'm working with, already everything's improved. Blood work, blood pressure is great. It's amazing the power of exercise, and in addition to changing the way you eat and getting your calories in a situation under control. So I want to do things for people, particularly to the morbidly obese people. They have special considerations you need to think about, and to just treat them like a broad brush like anybody else and just say, hey, go buy some fat burner pills. You know, it's my opinion, and maybe you disagree with me, but if I have somebody who I'm going to help who's, you know, middle age, 50s or older, doesn't know anything about nutrition, working out, they may already have some anxiety. They're vulnerable because they're susceptible to believe in just about anything because they're desperate for help. And that's what really bothers me, is that somebody exploits that by telling somebody who's obese or overweight to go buy fat burner pills. I mean, honestly, that pisses me off. So, you know, I just don't think it's appropriate. And to me, it's disingenuous. And I think it says that person, you know, truly, I mean, how can that person truly care about that person as a human being if their first intervention is to tell them to buy fat burner pills, knowing damn well that's really not gonna do anything for them. But, you know, anyways, I digress. I don't want to keep you know, beating a dead horse here. But what are your thoughts on this subject? Do you think that supplement industries with some of the products prey on people's either their vulnerability because they don't have the information, perhaps they're naive, they just don't know any better, but people who are anxious to lose weight, and maybe they might want to, you know, there's something to be said about people looking for the easy way out or the shortcuts, and that's a whole other situation. But the situation I'm talking about are people who are not necessarily looking for a shortcut. They just don't have better information, and they're trusting people whom they feel they should trust because maybe the person's in shape or they look fit and so on. So, my fat burning pills for the morbidly obese and overweight video. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree? Do you have a different opinion? Drop it in the comments below. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I appreciate it if you would. I'm going to continue to make videos on topics from physical fitness, mental health, wellness, and just topics I may want to discuss, like the one in the video today about these fat burning pills. So until I make another video, I hope you have a good day. And if you'd like, suggest a topic for me to make a video on below, and I'll be glad to see what I can do to put that up for you. Thank you.